Hi, I'm Justine.
And I'm Shelly.
And that's Nick. And you got past the glass here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking us with you on this Thursday. Everybody today that I've talked to keeps thinking today is Friday.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was?
No, because tomorrow's Friday. It's only one day.
No, it would be nice if it was Friday.
Well,
because then
we're closer.
Yeah,
we're one day closer.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Shelly, so what's been going on with you?
Just working like a dog. Got some good wine.
You do. What's it from today?
This is from Hartford Hill. It is blackberry today.
What is it?
Blackberry from Hartford Hill.
We still haven't found the that apple pie wine.
We can't. Find
we keep forgetting about it every time we
I've looked. I go.
I think I found it on I searched Amazon or searched the web, and I mean it's like $13 a bottle, but we'll have to.
Well, that's not bad. This
we'll
was. I think this was 18.
I think it's amazing how over the course of the years, wines have all these different flavors now. Where before it was just like you had your reds, you had your whites, and that was it. But now they've broadened their horizons to all kinds of different flavors that you would never even think of.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it is local wineries. People experiment with making wine out of crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
And we love our local wineries.
We do.
And when you want us to come out and bring our show out to when weather starts to permit, although they did raise the band today on the bars in West ones. Crazy Wabbit.
I'm actually working this evening, so
are you?
Yeah, they open it up to 2:30 and like get somebody out here to DJ. So
nice.
Where are you going to?
Right down the road here, right down O'Donnell's.
Oh wow! So
nice.
This is your first night out. Did they do like a celebration?
We were actually we were there last Saturday, but again it was limited because we could only go till 10 or 11 o'clock.
Right,
so.
Yeah.
But people are wanting to get out there, just based on what I saw Saturday. Whether Thursday is one of those where like gangbuster, let's go and do it.
Well, I bet just because they're allowed, I bet people will be there.
It's possible, and I mean it's a college bar, so why shoot right up the road? We'll see how that all turns out. But should be quite interesting.
So, do you guys feel like this is the start of everything starting to open in the area?
I'm hopeful. My fear, though, is I thought they were going to gradually take it to midnight, then to 1, then to 2. Being that they jumped that middle road, my worry is that everybody congregates, and now we just undid the benefit of the numbers going down, which 2 weeks from now we'll be able to tell.
And they just said that in Allegheny County, that strain from the UK is there now. So.
There's another strain too, isn't there? Like an African strain or something like that. I think I heard there were a couple of variants.
And so they're worried that that'll come over here too, which Allegheny County is not far. So
good
it's
times
scary.
With COVID.
It is scary. And now she told me today that the one that was in the UK is now here in Pittsburgh.
Didn't just.
She was distracted.
She was distracted by her phone.
Make sure that everybody's
and speaking of phone, we did try experiment number 2. How did we pan out? Did we get the advertisement that we thought was going to happen? I didn't have my phone near me.
But I did get something different. I did get something on my phone. I'm trying to think what it was because I'm like, if they would have seen it now, I can't remember what it was.
A different...
So maybe it was like Siri auto-correcting and it interpreted that and that's okay. How about you? Did you experience it?
Yeah.
Now you got to watch on your phone too because she has Siri or no, you have
No, I have
Alexa.
I have an Android phone, so mine is a little different. You guys are.
It's okay Google, right?
Yeah, it's either OK Google or I can say Siri help me, and not Siri, Alexa help me. Yeah, I have Alexa too.
Does she get offended when you call her Siri?
Oh, very. Yeah.
That is.
I don't.
That would be so great if they did that.
Could you imagine?
The
we're going to
opposite.
see somebody giving an advertising campaign going on here with Siri and Alexa arguing back and forth. Oh my God! Could you imagine?
We could do that.
We could do a whole show on this.
That
somebody bring in their Siri, somebody bring in their Alexa, and we'll have the 2 women fighting with each other.
I have 2 Alexas that fight with one another. What are you talking
about? You do?
Yes, I have one in my bedroom and one in my kitchen. And sometimes if I'm in the family room and I say, Alexa, turn on the music, I've got music from 2 different stations because they
don't know how to get along.
Yeah,
They're fighting with themselves.
Yep.
Gotta love technology.
Yep.
It's got its good, but it's also got its flaws.
in the hen house. So what have you got planned when you're going out to the big nightclub tonight?
Just DJing, so
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how many people come out, and I'm not a fan because I got to work tomorrow morning, so we'll see if it goes till 2. That's the only part I'm really dreading, but we'll see. Based on the crowd, will determine how late I'm out tonight.
What time you have to be at work in the morning?
I usually get here like 7:30.
Oh.
Yeah, so
that's not
2
too
a.m.
bad.
Wait a minute, he gets home at 2. He's got to go to sleep yet and then be here by 7:30.
Maybe you should just come sleep here.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
That would be
Wife
that would be
real well?
more uncomfortable. But
There's
I
a
have
stage.
kids,
You
so
can sleep right on the stage.
well, but I have kids, so waking up after 4 hours is still sort of ingrained in me because we still have those every once in a
that's
while
true.
where they wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, "Ugh," but yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to some and not looking forward to other. But we'll see how this opening up. But we'll know in 2 weeks if we're like, oh, the numbers surprisingly went up all of a sudden. Whether
Yeah, but the numbers surprisingly went really down.
below
Really
2,500 is what they said. So
We were down to what did he say, 1,700 or something like
don't
that?
remember.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
down.
it was
low. So hey,
That's why I'm here.
we shall see how it all turns out.
well,
It's going to get interesting.
anybody want to put any wagers on that all of a sudden, as soon as he opens this up, we're going to get the numbers back again?
Oh, yeah.
Because I bet you that's what's going to happen.
If you look at the places that I've been, even this last Saturday, and I won't name the location that I was at, but it was wall-to-wall people. They just...
Almost
Are
everywhere
they
I've
wearing
gone.
masks?
No.
I mean, yes. And I say that with concern because it was kind of like masks hanging down
Yeah.
or masks on and they get thrown to the side. But yeah, people I think just, I mean, it's been what, 11 months at this point? And people want to get back to normal and give them the opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. But Dewine will shut it back down. I'm almost certain if the numbers spike again.
I'm wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea for different establishments to put up the hand sanitizers at remote locations so people can still keep,
I'm sure a lot of them already do have. I know.
maybe in the restrooms and things.
I know. Well, no, on bars I've seen, the big giant pump bottles of hand sanitizer.
Well, that's good
several
though.
of them.
At least this is the first sign of you actually being able to get out and start doing a little bit of what you used to do.
Well, I've kind of never stopped. I've had between weddings and other gigs that I could do. There were maybe about 4 weeks in that where recently I've taken a break, and then the rest of it's been at
Really?
least something.
No kidding. Good for you. I felt like everything shut way down.
It did.
A lot of my
people were
comedian
going
friends
from
are back
they just
to work.
pushed it back where they were starting at 7 or 8 and then going to 11 and then of course 10, and then once it really restricted with the no dancing, then it even shriveled a little bit, but people didn't really follow that anyway. It just less people out because of the restrictions. But now it's lifted. We'll see how crazy it gets. My bet is it will.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I hope not, but I think so.
You
I
do
mean-
too.
Yeah, I think it'll.
Even when they opened it up the last time, like we were all of a sudden surprised 2 weeks later, a big spike in numbers. Well, we opened the floodgates. Like what was expected?
Yeah.
I give it to, here's my premonition. I give it to St. Patrick's Day before he starts to shut things down again.
I hope not, because that's another
Give
big
it
day
1
for
month.
DJ.
Yeah. But it's a chance for these establishments to recoup a little bit
Yeah.
of what they've lost. And I do mean a little bit. And I bet you by St. Patrick's. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
I'll sort of go along with that, but I think if he's gonna do it, he's gonna give everybody that one last hurrah to collect as much money as they can before forcing everybody closed. I think he's fair enough in that respect that he probably will do it.
Don't be surprised if he's not looking out in the windows.
Is that a Mr. Wilson or a Dewine?
Dewine.
But yeah, we'll see what shakes out. It should get interesting real quick. So
It should.
Yeah, well, we can only hope. I mean, it's been a heck of a year.
At least outside stuff open up this summer. If nothing else, even if we don't get back to
Concerts. Wouldn't it be nice if we could go back to concerts? I miss the.
I mean, being out in the open. I mean, there's less likely that you're gonna pick up anything.
Oh, Joe's watching us. Hi, Joe.
Who's Joe? Oh, Joe.
Joe.
Hi, Joe. So I'm like, how'd you see Joe?
How's he? Is he? I think he should be driving by now. I don't know.
Are you driving and watching us?
Could be Ryan or Debbie in the back
That's
having
awesome.
his tablet or
Could be
whatnot,
Debbie
but-
doing it. So, yeah, they're hitting a nice, warm location. Mm-hmm. And
A lot of stops along the way, but it should be fun for them.
Well, you wonder now with the restrictions that are being lifted, you wonder if vacation hotspots are going to start picking
Well,
up.
Florida's been open for how
I've been
long?
open and
Yeah, but they're nighttime entertainment, I'm sure. Unless
I
they've been
don't
down
think-
like we are, really?
Yeah, I don't think it's been as restricted as you think it is. I think it's been mainly
there.
here.
Just us.
Yeah.
Joe's going to have to let us know if that's is so or not.
Yep.
We'll get that report.
I'm sure we will.
wait to hear.
So nobody else got the let's talk to Siri and see if she pulls up advertisements. So that's fail number 2. It sounded like you got close.
I know, but Joe and I,
Every time.
yes.
When you're not
When we
trying.
talk
When
about-
we're
yeah.
trying. Maybe it knows that we were trying and it stopped it just so we wouldn't.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's getting ahead of us.
Well, if it doesn't, I'm okay with it too. Stay off of my phone. Stay out of my phone. You know what I'm really surprised though? And here's another marketing strategy. I'm really surprised that Google doesn't try to add some advertisements to your emails. Seriously, in all seriousness, have a link or something on the side.
Well, there's banners. They put banners on your email.
I don't have banners on my emails. Do you?
Well,
On the
yeah,
right-hand side,
yeah.
you do have some.
Yeah.
Try
If
to
you
help.
look at them on your phone, no. If you
Right.
look at them on a computer, yes.
Well, I'm always on my phone, so I'm always scrolling through. It seems like anymore being on a PC or being on a laptop is like a thing of the past because everybody's on phones
Yeah,
now.
that is kind of coming. Even a lot of the websites, they're designing more for the mobile, and I mean, they still have an element that's web based, but more people are doing it on their phone.
Between the apps that you download and between, I don't know, I'm an app girl and I like to see all the latest apps that come out. I like to see, when you can be on it for free for 60 or 90 days and then it's like once your expiration's up, delete.
Okay, I mean,
When-
we should try it out.
Yes.
When your phone updates, how many apps does it have to update?
Not very many on this one. I did not download from the cloud as many as I would have.
Mine says about 20.
Really?
that I have.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still scrolling on screens, but I don't have half as many as what I did.
Well, I feel really, really bad because I have 360 some apps.
366 apps?
How do you know the exact number?
It
Because
tells
my
her.
phone tells me when I update. It says updating one of 360 whatever, and it does them all.
Do you have any storage space after 360
I
apps?
have like a big card SD thing in my phone. That,
Who does that?
And why haven't you deleted anything?
oh, I delete some. But I download new ones. I like apps.
I mean, at
I like
least-
games.
at least
I
you-
have lots of games.
So we should come to you if we have a question on an app because you tried them all.
I try them all the time. Yeah, I love them. I love lots of apps. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why, but
I think it's amazing that probably, I don't want to say last year, and I don't want to say the year before, but apps were not real. People didn't, like, you can design your own app, is what I'm trying to say. And apps were, like, really hard, and it wasn't just something that you would get into. And now, all of a sudden,
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just look at our phones from the inception.
Yeah,
like
the
having the old flip
technology,
phones that
amazing.
had a little bit of capability of browsing the web. Then they went to the more advanced ones. Like, I mean, my kids are never going to remember having to print out the MapQuest sheet to tell me how to get somewhere.
Oh, yeah. But you can't always rely on your phone either for maps because this girl gets lost outside of her backyard.
oh, she does.
Yeah.
How many many
She was
times?
agreeing with you.
How many times have I had to wait for you because I don't know where I am?
On reroute, I would get rerouted.
I don't know where I am.
I don't know where I'm at.
What app are you using? Because we need to get you a different app.
It's Google.
I use Waze.
Google Maps.
I love Waze.
Waze is great. Have you ever tried Waze?
I have tried Waze.
The only problem I don't like about any of them is they suck your battery.
Yes, they
you
do.
gotta have it plugged in. But
Yes, they do.
Waze gives you the, if there's a police coming up, I mean, there are people that drive a little faster than they should. It's great for that. And it actually has saved
Speedy
me
Gonzalez here.
quite a bit. Like, I had a gig right after work, and had my Waze, and I could see traffic was stopped on the freeway that I was about to jump on, and I looked up and I saw all over the overpass. I'm like, I'm not going that way. I would have been late. There was like a 2-hour backup on that drive because it tells you the areas where things are super slow, and it saved me from getting tied up in that. I had to go a little bit longer way around, but I would have been tied up there for hours.
Well,
I bet in big cities it probably helps people even more
I'm
than
sure. I'm sure it would be. But I was going to say, we're kind of blessed around here because we don't have to worry about so much traffic and, congestion. The only thing that's really congesting right now is 680 with that bridge.
I mean, there's been about
And a few
10 accidents since that thing has gone up.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, for people gawking at it?
They're not gawking at it, but because people are flying up beside you and then that short having to get over and they're being stupid instead of, I think we actually talked about that in an episode where people like don't want to wait and don't want to like just conform with everybody else so traffic flows smoothly. They just want to like rush to the front of the line and cut in front of everybody.
Oh, that makes me so mad. I won't let them cut.
Nothing makes me more batshit crazy than somebody that won't watch. They're supposed to yield to you, and they just, and you're just like, thank God you didn't go over into the median or go into the cement wall. Why do people do that? Why? Just drives me crazy.
Probably playing on their phone. I mean, how many times have you seen people playing on their phone where you're like, hey, you're swerving all over the place, like,
Well, yeah,
pay attention.
but I think people just don't have respect for the average driver out there anymore.
I don't
really
think people
don't.
have respect for each other at all, not necessarily
Right,
drivers
not
in
just
general.
driving. You're right.
And I think with this COVID, and it's got everybody so locked up and everybody so antsy, I think patient levels are just
Way down.
So you got to be careful coming out into the public again. I mean, you'll find out tonight how
I'm
patient
sure.
people are. I said play my
Well,
song.
I mean, it just happened today, so I'm anticipating. I mean, there might be some people out, but I don't think it's going to be as crazy the first day. Now, this weekend, that's a different story because people, make plans to go out.
It's going to be like New Year's Eve.
Oh, without a
gonna be
doubt.
like
It's going to be
everybody-
wall to wall people, like it was last week.
Or
Just
like-
because they want to be out and they want to get back to normal.
You know how like they always say that the day before Thanksgiving's the biggest day of the year.
Not this year.
Well, you never know. It's going to be on the weekends. These people are wanting to get out. But on the flip side, maybe people aren't. Maybe people are still afraid to be around people. I don't know.
There's some.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, that might be true for every news report that you read. The risk level once you get older. So I could see the older generations being concerned about that, but I think these young kids are like,
College kids all want out.
yeah, just go out and enjoy it and have fun and dance and everything else. So. Well, again, we'll see how crazy it gets, but I don't think, like I said, tonight's going to be a huge deal, but definitely this weekend. And I think I even saw somebody, it's kind of going around once we get back to normal, having one holiday that encompasses all the holidays we just missed, all in one.
I could see that going on. I could see that happening.
Celebrate Easter and Thanksgiving and everything in one event. So we'll see.
So if you were able to bring back a holiday that was near and dear to your heart that kind of just got looked over the past year, what one holiday would you bring back?
Honestly, I would say the 4th of July was probably the biggest one that I missed of the group because Christmas was still Christmas. I mean, even if it was
Because it was more
less
spent
people,
with family.
it's still spent with family, especially the immediate family. But yeah, everything else, I mean, missing the fireworks, missing the outdoor picnics. I mean, that is probably one of the biggest, misses this year, and being able to do that picnic and whatnot. For me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Over
kind of
Christmas,
thinking Memorial Day.
Thanksgiving? Really?
Yeah. Because Memorial Day is the
Thanksgiving
beginning
should-
of summer, it's like the big hurrah before, like at the beginning, it's like, ooh, it's gonna be summer.
Well, Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of, again, in that same boat where you still got a flavor of it, where 4th of July, what did you do? Nothing. Like, it went.
Yeah, I didn't even watch fireworks this year for the 4th of July. That's the first year, and I couldn't tell you when.
But do you guys remember on the 4th of July and the days that led up? All of the fireworks. I mean, people were continuously letting fireworks.
Because they
Yeah,
had more
people
money to
had-
spend on fireworks
right.
in this year because they weren't going on vacation.
Between that and all of the extra unemployment that people were getting and stuff,
It was horrific. I won't miss that.
No.
One day-
I'm talking about the get together with not just family, with friends and family, be able to do a cookout, be able to enjoy parades.
yeah,
I mean,
the
that
big
kind of stuff.
party, yeah.
But has he lifted restrictions on parties with family?
Technically, no.
Not yet, but hopefully by summer, because
He said
they've got the
yeah.
100-day plan for the vaccine. So if they actually get most of the people vaccinated, I would think that by summer we'll have parties.
We'll see. I mean, it's the pace. The pace is going to determine whether.
What
And
happens.
the next thing is, with as much time has passed, the mutations are going to be the other element. Whether the vaccine that they just put on everybody is going to cover.
They're saying so
next-
far that it's covering the ones that have happened. So we'll see.
Well, isn't there 3 different strains?
Something like that, yeah.
So I heard something interesting this morning about how large a container you would have to hold all of the coronavirus that is in the world. Okay? So if you take all of the actual little, viruses, those little, with the little...
Molecules?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're cute. They've got those little pokey
little fuzzy
things,
things, yeah.
How large a container would you have to hold everyone in the world? It shocked me.
That's a good question, because it's as small as the molecule is. I mean,
The molecular structure. Did I sound impressive?
You did.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks. I'll pull one out every now and then.
yeah, I mean, I would think like a barge, one of those big crates on a barge. That would be
Like a shipping container?
Yeah, shipping container.
That was one that somebody guessed. Someone else guessed an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
My turn?
Go ahead. Guess something.
Is this all the people or just all the molecule periods?
Just not the people. If you had to put, 200 and some thousand people
Okay.
or whatever, it would be.
A Ziploc storage bag for lunch. A sandwich baggie.
the gallon or the quart size.
The sandwich one,
The sandwich one.
I don't know if it would be that extreme, but
like the size of a shoebox.
I was, whoa, see?
really?
Mind blown. I was like, how is that even possible? But they're
I was
so
a little bit smaller
tiny.
than that, but I was close. And
They're
you were
so
going to
tiny.
make fun of me on that one.
what? I mean, you were looking at like the little snack size
No,
Ziploc
that's
bags.
snacks. No, they have the, yeah.
There's too
How
many
about that?
variations of Ziploc bag. That's a hard one.
How about that? I kind of just pulled that out of,
You did.
I
You're
did.
like a scientist.
I am. Shush.
Drink your wine.
Who would
That's a different type of science.
It makes me smarter. Just ask me, I'll tell you. Wow, where'd you get this fact full of knowledge piece of
I
information?
don't remember. I heard it this morning on something that I was listening to.
Wow. Makes you kind of wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, as long as it starts to slow things down, they could put it in a Ziploc storage bag. They could put it in a little shoebox. I don't care. We can bury it underneath the world and never have to lift it back up again.
Yeah, let's collect
But
them
will
all
we
and
ever
bury
be
it.
rid of it? I doubt it.
It's going to be like the
So
flu.
the next question is, are the masks, are we ever going to get rid of the masks?
That's the big question.
Well,
are people going to be so paranoid that it becomes just part of every day?
well, they're saying in Pittsburgh that people are supposed to wear 2 masks now, not just one.
Oh, it'll be here. It'll be here before long. Guaranteed. And what's 2 masks going to do?
But it's got to be a certain configuration too, because I was hearing that today. Because if you do, they don't want you to do just 2 cloth masks. They want you to do like an N95 and a cloth mask.
Okay, so here's a question for you, and I know you have seen these masks going around, and they drive me crazy. But they're the plastic shields, like as if they were an iron worker. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
An iron worker?
Well, you know how they do the.
I know what she's
shields.
talking about, but this without the tint.
It's just plastic.
For people that are welders, what she's
How is
referring
that?
to.
How is that going to stop?
Yeah. It doesn't stop anything. It stops your spit from going straight forward, but it goes under. And
Yes.
I get annoyed with those all the time. In conjunction with another mask, I guess it would be okay.
But have you seen people spit and talking on these?
Yes.
You're like, you just want to go the other direction.
Yeah, it's like nasty.
It is nasty.
Well, the worst part is when you sneeze inside your own mask.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You're in the middle of a store and you can't really go anywhere. What are you going to do? Take it off?
Right, yeah, you can't sneeze with it off. You can't take
So
it
now
off.
you're just soaking in your own mucus. It's great.
Have you ever?
Anybody hungry?
No. Have you ever eaten like peppermint that's really strong peppermint, and then put a mask on and it tears up your eyes?
Yes.
It's horrible. It is absolute. I would not suggest that. It's horrible.
I would imagine cinnamon's probably the same way, same effect. I've never done that though, so I can't speak for that. But yeah, I'm sure that doesn't sound comfortable.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But I will be glad when these masks are done and over with.
Me too.
I will be so glad once we're done having to use, well, and this probably will never happen, but the hand sanitizers. But remember when it first came out, everybody was so scared to touch everything that they constantly, their hands were so goopy with hand sanitizers that would your fingers actually stick together? Because mine would.
Yeah.
You used so much. And then we slacked off.
This is the first, because everybody had it, and we service a bunch of customers. Everybody had their own variation of hand sanitizers, so you end up getting the ones that you really liked because you're so used to going around and getting all these different samples of all these different types. That is the weirdest thing. Like, never in a million years would I thought, ooh, I really like this hand sanitizer.
Well, I do that with soap. If I'm at a friend's house and I use, their bathroom, the soap, the little squirty soap in the bathroom, I'll look and see what flavor it is because, I want to go buy it for myself.
Bath and
And I
Body
did
Works
call
are
it
the best.
flavor. Yes.
Hand sanitizer is great unless you have a cut on your hand, but it's like, ugh.
The ones at work, they bought them from a distillery who manufactured hand sanitizer during the pandemic. So they smell like booze. And I laugh all the time because I think that I could probably get away with going to work drunk. And
Imagine getting pulled over.
I was just going to say, pulled over and an officer, you've been drinking.
Nothing.
No, it's my hand sanitizer.
right.
Awkward. Even more awkward when you blow a 0.00, but you smell like alcohol.
Yep. No, it's the
Well,
hand
yeah,
sanitizer.
wow, wait, bartender.
Would you though? Because you're rubbing it on your skin, and things that rub on your skin would
you
get
absorb,
absorbed.
yeah.
Because you technically get drunk off a hand sanitizer. That's a good
Interesting.
question.
Yeah, that is
you?
a very good question.
If it was made of vodka.
I mean, if it already smells like alcohol,
Oh,
there's got to be an
it's
alcohol
very
element
boozy.
of it.
It's very
And that
boozy.
absorbs into the skin. I mean, I would think
Maybe
it would be
that's what's
possible.
wrong. I could blame it on that.
If anybody's capable of doing that test, that would be a really cool test to
Yeah.
see. Get the most potent one that you can find.
Oh,
and
I've got it in my
just
office.
do it and see if you can get somebody that would, let
Do
you
a breathalyzer.
do a breathalyzer
Yeah.
and see if the hand sanitizer
Let's
would
get one
actually.
at my office.
That would be a great test. Do we know any police officers that we could bring in just
I
to
could probably
see?
find somebody and see if that
There you go.
works. But we'd have to look.
do it.
We'd have to do some prep work and see how long it would take to absorb and make sure that the test is really tried and true. But probably not after we drink wine though either. We might have to hold off that one.
But how many times are you going to be drinking using hand sanitizer? I mean, you probably have to use it a lot.
Well, I use it after every single customer all day long. So if I have, 50 or 75 customers in a day, I use it 50 or 75 times. Today I only had 11, so
But
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sober.
but isn't like if this was on your arm or your leg or something, that would be different than I would think your hand, the palm of your hand, because the skin is so rough.
My skin.
Well,
I mean,
Very
that could be. Well, I mean, that could be an element of it where on your hands, because again, you get like, calluses, I think they're called, and yeah, if you have rougher skin, it wouldn't absorb as much. But a control test between 3 people, we
should really see if that does happen.
Yep. I think that would be a really interesting, or if anybody in our audience knows that, whether that is or is not, if somebody can confirm that would cause blood alcohol.
Just like with oils, like essential oils, you have to be so careful what you're putting on your skin because it absorbs so fast. You have to put a carrier oil on and then put the essential oil on.
Guys don't know this, but
I'm just saying. But I'm just wondering, you might be onto something there, little Nick. Mm-hmm. You might be onto something.
Just look at the nicotine patch. Same thing, goes through the skin, so it's very possible. The question is how much would you have to put on? How potent would the thing be in order to actually cause a test to at least
is there an
fluctuate?
Actual alcohol level to hand sanitizer?
Yep.
I mean, it's like 93%
I was just going to say you have to have over 90%.
But is it the kind of alcohol that makes you drunk? There was the kind of alcohol that could kill you that they were putting in some of them from foreign countries.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you had to, there was like a list of them that you had to check and make sure that you didn't have the ones that were from those foreign countries because they could kill you.
Well, not only that, you have to be careful if your animals lick your hands too, because that could kill you. Did you know that?
Animals, if I lick my hands, Cheetos are great unless you have hand sanitizer on.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Eat any food. If you are eating lunch and you have to go and do something and have to hand sanitize, then it just ruins your food.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, I ate today at my desk, and I hate when you have Cheetos and then your fingers are orange and you're like, cookie fingers. You look like, have you ever walked up on somebody and thought, ew, gross, look at their hands? I'm like, oh God, what do I do with this?
Cheetos are great, except for the mess they leave behind.
Mm-hmm. I actually saw a video where they put these Cheetos in a salad bowl spinner, okay?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. They spun it so fast and so long that when the time was up, and you could see like the oils flying off the Cheetos, and you could see like the specks of cheese flying off. But when she raised the lid from spinning it, that's where the harder Cheetos come from. Have you seen the other one? They're the hard Cheetos, and then you have the cheese puffs.
The crispy ones?
The crispy ones is what comes from cheese puffs. They just take all the air and they suck it out. Oh, it's neat.
They dehydrate them.
Yes. So a Cheeto is a dehydrated cheese puff. Did you know that?
No. I don't even know how they make the cheese puff, so that's interesting for sure.
I think they take styrofoam and they cut it out and then they sprinkle orange powder on it.
No. But if anybody has a salad spinner, do you have one?
I do not.
I'm surprised.
She
has everything.
I have
under
everything.
The sun, moon, stars. Yeah.
I just buy the already made salads that I don't have to spin because that's too much work.
But yeah, we got to get a salad spinner, and then we got to do this.
I have the thing that spins my mop. I wonder if that would work.
Oh, God. Oh, Cedars, I don't think it works.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to have to find a salad spinner, and I'm going to show you. This is so cool. So we've got 2 experiments we need to do. The Cheeto, and we have to do the hand sanitizer. Now that's cool.
Is Joe still watching? If you are, get us those things.
Yes, Joe, get those things. Well, can't you tell here?
Well, it says he's there, but I don't know if he's still there.
I can't even get him on here.
Well, but I saw something recently. I guess there's a cool trick that you can do with Cheetos where you actually boil down the Cheetos, and they were using like the flaming hot, spicy stuff, and you can actually use that to melt down the Cheeto and do it over like macaroni and cheese. And it was really strange, but it also a little bit interesting to see if that would taste good, because they did like the spicy Cheetos and then they did like the lime, a little bit of lime flavored, and they did it over macaroni and cheese. Yeah, it's appealing.
I saw a weird thing. They took boiling water, a big pot of boiling water. They dumped 2 bags of Lay's potato chips in the boiling water.
Oh.
And they boiled them until they made mashed potatoes out of it. I just can't even imagine how many
Bags of potato chips you would need, like family size.
Well, and
Good to, it's like Folgers in here. Good to the last drop.
not to mention just all of the chemicals in Lay's potato chips. And they're putting them in. Why
they're
can't
so
you just,
good.
Why can't you
They are
just
so
make
good.
mashed potatoes?
They are so big. What if you don't have them?
So you waste 2 bags of potato chips to make them? I don't think so. I'd rather eat the chips.
It is so true. Nobody can eat just one. They're so
Right?
addicting.
They are.
Well, the trick
I
is
don't
if you
even-
have potatoes, you just throw it in the oven randomly, and maybe by the time they're done, you'll actually be interested in eating the potatoes.
Oh, did you see the one video? Now you can try this at home. Get muffin pans where there's 2, 3, 4. What you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 6.
I have those.
See,
Of
she
course.
has everything, everything. But a 6 muffin pan thing.
Noise.
It's called water. And she put 2 drumsticks, okay, flavored them like with whatever shake and bake or whatever. So she put 2 drumsticks. Then she went and she got mac and cheese. Now this is the one that opens up in a round container. She put that in there along with she sprinkled the cheese sauce on top. Everything that had the contents in the container, she put it in that round little container. She added a little bit of water to it. She moved along. And what else? Oh, she put French fries in the next one. Okay, just a few French fries over here. Then she got mashed potatoes. And she put mashed potatoes over here, added some water to it, a little bit of butter. And then she put over here, she popped open one of those containers that already has a self-made biscuits, and when you pop them, they explode everywhere. Do you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Well, she put a biscuit over here. She put it in the oven for 350 for, I don't even know, 35, 40 minutes. Everything came out perfect. Who would think to put all that stuff in a baking pan or in a muffin pan? Just
So that's
enough.
like cooking for one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you have COVID for 11 months, you start experimenting with weird stuff,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I imagine. People who haven't been working have probably made a lot of crazy things.
Well, I think a lot of people just wanted to get on TikTok and YouTube and all this
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Oh, what about the hair glue lady? Now she's shaved her head. They were able to
Oh, they
remove
did?
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to do surgery.
Didn't I hear something or see something that somebody else tried a Gorilla Glue experiment and ended badly
I
again?
didn't see.
I didn't
no.
see that one.
But yeah,
Just
they,
recently from the other.
Yeah, like just after the other lady did what she... I guess there's a Gorilla Glue challenge. I don't know the details of it, but apparently
you gotta
it
be
failed.
kidding.
But you figured they would have learned from the first attempt.
you would think.
They're just trying to cash in on the camaraderie of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But they had
15
surgery.
seconds of fame. Yeah, she had to have surgery to have her hair removed from her head. Apparently, I don't know.
That may never grow back.
Well, it was a month. It's been a month since she actually did it.
Wow. I didn't know
And
this-
so it grew out enough that they could remove it by surgery. So now she's probably pretty much bald. Who knows if it'll ever grow back right? I mean, I'm sure her scalp is damaged from all the glue. I can't
wonder
even
if-
imagine. You know how when you glue just your thumb, when you're
How
gluing
long
something?
you're doing it, right?
Yeah, you're picking at it forever before it comes off. So can you imagine having it on your head?
That would be like a 3rd-degree burn.
It could be.
You wonder why they couldn't just get the clippers and just start shaving it off if it grew
It
out.
was too strong. Gorilla Glue
Yeah,
was that
it was
tough.
attached to her head
It would
still.
have damaged the blades on the cutter. Yeah, it's strong stuff.
It's the strongest glue made.
Oh my gosh. What was she thinking?
15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, I mean that's the other part you wonder whether it was intentional,
Is it
knowing that it was going to go
intentional?
that
I
way,
think so.
or whether it was just you're just that not intelligent to put it as nice as possible. Like why? Why would you even go down that avenue? So many other options. You could have picked any other one. You could have picked Elmer's glue, and it would have been a much better scenario than Gorilla Glue.
Right.
But
was this a spray bottle she put on her head?
it's a spray. Yeah, it was a spray glue.
See, I didn't even know Gorilla Glue came out in a spray glue. So.
Yeah, and I don't quite know what the purpose of the spray bottle of Gorilla
And what
Glue
were
is.
you thinking, that you wanted to have a great hairdo for days on end and didn't? And her hair wasn't all that long.
I think from what the original report, they actually, her hairspray ran out, so she used that as an alternative. But again, that's in quotes because we don't really know. It could have been completely intentional to give herself,
Give her TikTok
yeah,
time.
15 minutes of fame type of deal.
Oh, I think it's more like 15 seconds of fame. And maybe a lawsuit. So
What's one of the dumbest things you've ever done? Now that's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb.
Dumbest things. I would need to think on that. I try to stay away from doing too many dumb things, especially as an adult. I think it would have had to have been as kids. I think the rock fight is probably probably one of the dumbest.
The rock fight.
Yeah, as children, it went from stick fight somewhere along. I mean, there was a bunch of kids and
the sticks as swords.
Yeah, sticks as swords. Yeah, I mean, that was common. I mean, you'd get hurt, but you wouldn't get that hurt. And then somewhere along the line, it switched to throwing rocks at each other, and the bigger the rock, the more fun it was. And
We used to throw apples a lot. Not so much rocks.
We didn't have much like that in the neighborhood. Yeah, we were in a. There were still houses being built in the neighborhood, but we just had like a lot of fields and a lot of property, and the kids in our neighborhood would always play like kickball and softball and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we had.
Yeah, we played baseball and.
Not now. Now everything's tablet, iPhone.
Yeah, kids don't
We
play
got
games.
outside and played.
Oh,
we
I mean,
had the fresh air.
You know,
Right.
the playing in the street with a kickball and I mean that's what you
Catching
did.
lightning bugs and coming in at
Yep.
the time the street lights came on. Yep.
But do you notice that there's not even that many more lightning bugs out anymore?
Oh, there are. You just have to go where they are.
I
If you live in the city, you don't see them as much. Out by my house, we have them all the time.
and crickets.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
Love
crickets.
crickets.
They're great until they're in your
crickets.
house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And those damn stink bugs.
Oh,
Oh God.
I keep finding them in my. Well, actually, Fiona finds them in my house now.
You would think they'd be dead.
Well, we inadvertently, I actually was able to kind of fix that, and we had a little bit, but a lot of the older windows they tend to like sneak in, and all we did is we did the winter seal kits where you seal the actual window with the plastic wrap, and we barely
haven't had 'em.
any. So it's worked out well. I mean, the attic I think was probably the biggest offender of the group, but yeah, you seal those windows and it's like night and day when it comes to those bugs.
Interesting.
Wow.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, the stink bugs and those little fake ladybugs, they go hand in hand.
Oh, I hate
think
those
the-
fake ladybugs.
I think it's the other way around, but I want to say the stink bug actually is there to consume the ladybug. That's why
Really?
they come hand in hand, right?
Really?
Yeah, they eat. That's its prey.
Oh,
so.
I'll keep the stink bugs all day long to not have those mean ladybugs.
But the stink bugs bite. Did you know
the
that?
mean
can,
ladybugs
yeah.
bite.
Have you ever been bitten by a stink bug?
I haven't personally, no.
Have you ever killed a stink bug?
You don't want to.
I never have.
Like farts.
usually I
Okay.
send them down the drain and let
Flush them
them
down the toilet.
Yeah.
That's what I do with them.
because
I found
supposedly
in
you
the house
kill
that-
them. There's a reason they're called a stink bug. They've let off.
I usually just
stink.
let
Very
them out in the
good
snow. I like to put them in the snow, and I'm like, okay, now try to get back in.
Well, that doesn't sound mean at all.
No, it's not.
I just flush them.
So you love animals, but bugs sound like they might be the exclusion.
Oh, no. They're the anti. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No can do for me.
No,
Can't
not
do
not a bug
No
person.
mosquitoes, no flies, no nothing. Nothing. Can't do it.
Biggest insect you fear?
Either tarantula or there's what were they? Not acadias. Those things. Like the locusts. Cicadas. The big.
Really?
Even a daddy long
That's
leg.
that's a different fear. That's not
Daddy
a normal one.
longlegs are not dangerous.
Because they're not harmful. They just make a little noise.
And a praying mantis.
Oh, I love those.
Praying mantis.
They're cool
It's
to
illegal
watch,
to
though.
kill those.
Oh, I know.
See, I would have to go with wasp because that's one of the few ones that you stumble upon a wasp nest and you get stung, they just keep stinging.
Oh, I know.
There's no escaping that. So that would probably be my biggest fear as far as bugs are concerned.
I had my dog on the back deck, and I had this big, huge flower pot. And I didn't know that a bee's nest was in the flower pot, and I'm flying in the pattern of the bee's nest. Well, I'm seeing all these bees, and my dog's, she's like trying to bite these bees off of her. I'm like, oh, Nina. So I had on a big sweatshirt, right? Well, when you're leaning over and you're trying to get the bees off the dog, the bees are flying out my sweatshirt. I got stung over 20 times, almost passed out on the deck, had to call my mom. Said, Mom, I just got bit, and I did not know that I was allergic. Well, I wasn't allergic to bees at the time, but because I got stung continuously so many times, I ended up in the ER, and they're like, "You can't get around bees now." Yeah, wow. It was horrible.
Yeah, wasps are scary, but the ground yellow jackets are actually more scary because you can run up on one of them and not even know you're on it until it's way too freaking late. At least the wasp, you can see their hive. You can actually run in it. But yeah, the stinging insects for me are the ones that are
bad.
Yeah, I don't like stinging insects. I had a lawnmower incident once. I was mowing grass, and I ended up running over one of the ground ones, and they started coming out, and I ran and I jumped in the kids' swimming pool. And I had a self-propelled lawnmower at the time, and it just kept going. It kept going and going, and
So you mowed your neighbor's grass, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, probably I did. I don't know. It took days before I went and got it because I was scared to go out in the yard. But I ended up in the swimming pool, and I could see them flying around, and I would just pop up long enough to take a breath and go back under because they were flying around. They were like waiting for me to come out.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And another time we had in my backyard at my old house, we had this, you could see it in the tree, way up high in the tree, there was a hornet's nest. And my friend said, this is my friend Karen, I don't know if she's watching because she watches a lot, but hi Karen. So she said,
Really, Karen?
Yeah, really? She said, let's throw a football at
Oh
it.
no.
Well, she did. And she hit it. And you see...
First time though?
No, it took a couple times before she actually hit it. But you see things flying, and I thought at first that it was just
The
parts
debris,
of the
right.
debris. Yeah. No, it was hornets.
It was what? They weren't too thrilled with you at that point?
They covered the whole back of my house for 3 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 3 days. I called an exterminator, and he said, I can't come out yet. He said, you have to wait until they dissipate. And
Why were they on your back? Because they were pissed?
Yeah, they were mad. They were.
So apparently they hold a grudge too.
Oh, they do, yeah. And he had to go up in the tree and take the nest down. And he told me that they probably relocated, and we'll have to wait and find out where they relocated, and then he'll have to come back and kill them. And it was like the next summer before we found that they had built another nest behind my garage, and so we had to have him come back and get rid of them. But
yeah, that's the worst when you're running or you stumble on one that's either in the ground and there's nothing you could do because you're like, I remember even as a young kid, I think we were playing baseball or something, and I went chasing after a ball, and I look down and I see the opening of a yellow jacket nest, and like you put on the brakes and you try to get away from it. You're not really going to get away from it.
yeah, because they feel that vibration, I think, before
nothing's
before
worse
you get there.
than ants in the ground, and you walking over and not realizing that you just hit an ant hill, an ant nest, and
You know
you're
what?
getting bit.
We're lucky here, though.
Well, typically they don't bite. I think the big black ones bite, but
And the little brown ones will bite. But when I lived in Georgia, there were the red ants, the fire ants, and those are evil. Well, we were at a playground at the Chattahoochee Park one time, and a little kid walked onto a fire ant hill, and before the mom could get there, the kid was covered all the way up to its diaper.
Wow.
And she went and ended up sticking him in the water to get the ants off. But Had to take them to the ER and stuff because those are like really toxic.
That's what they say though. Whenever you are engulfed in any type of insect, jump in water.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. Or I would have
That's
thrown
why
my
I
dog
was
in
in
the
the pool.
pond, and because she was just engulfed in bees, and I was engulfed in the bees, and that's pretty scary when you can't breathe and you're like, and you didn't realize you're allergic to them, and you don't have an EpiPen. And, What do you do? What do you do?
Mm-hmm. I'm allergic, and I don't have an EpiPen either because they're $600. It's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I got stung once when I was swimming. You wouldn't think that I was in the middle of a swimming pool and a bee, it was a wasp. It went on my finger as I put my hand down in the water, and then I came up this way and it stung me on my thumb and then, or my finger and then under my armpit. And I walked around like this for like 3 weeks because I couldn't put my arm down.
All the joys
So
of
don't
summer.
trust your luck. We don't want to play your lotto numbers based on that. Like the 1% chance that somebody could get stung while swimming.
Yeah, I was a kid. That was when I was probably 12 or something, somewhere in there. And yeah, it was bad.
These are the joys of summer.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for summer to get here.
We're not exactly
looking forward
inspiring
to it.
people to go out and have fun right now. Enjoy
what?
your insects and bees and
Pay an exterminator. That's what I do. Every summer, I get an exterminator at the beginning of summer.
Yeah, but they can't guarantee that you're not going to have a bees or a wasp nest.
Oh, they come back every month and spray. So, so Jamie King says that they stapled their lip once.
Ow!
And I would like to hear that story.
Jamie, how could you do that?
Do you know Jamie?
I do know Jamie.
stapled
Jamie
staple their lips or
Lip.
staple a lip.
Lip. It
How does that
says.
even happen?
I don't know. We need to know, Jamie.
Jamie, how did you do that? I love Jamie and his wife. They're amazing. They're our Bigfoot Sasquatch.
Oh, okay.
That's who that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, could you imagine stapling your lip? And especially if it was a nail gun or a staple gun. Good Lord.
Yeah.
She got this.
Staple gun. Yeah, staple gun is probably most likely what happened there because I can't see let me try this out. I mean, unless you're wanting a lip ring and you're like, let's see if this will do it.
I got chills thinking about it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't think
Because
People
my
do tongue rings.
stapler-
It can't be that much different.
I got chills thinking about it.
My stapler, you have to have a solid surface to push it on before it'll go.
But
I guess your lip is a solid surface.
how many
if you-
people in the construction industry have stapled their thumbs or put a nail through their
I don't want
nail
to think
bed?
about that.
Oh my God.
My brother had a nail gun that you could just hold the end of it so that it would shoot and rapid fire them at people just for fun.
That was
They
in
used to do that.
Arachnophobia. Remember that?
Yeah.
That movie? That's
Yeah.
how he actually ended up killing the nest as
Yes.
he shot the nail gun
Yes.
at it. You still haven't seen that movie, have you?
No.
You have a fear of spiders, so
Yeah,
that would be
well,
a great addition to the list of movies that
Yes.
you
I
see.
got
You
chills
should
now
watch
thinking
it.
about it.
You will cringe.
It's good.
I think I was like 9 or 10 when I saw it. I was jumping up on the couch like, get out of the house! It was fun.
No, I don't think I could watch something like that. No thanks.
Pass.
Really?
Hard pass.
Yeah, pass that one. Pass. So, anyhow, we've had a great conversation. We have talked everything from COVID to spiders
That's
to
how that
people
works.
going out to, my gosh, it was a well-rounded show. If you missed it tonight, boy, ay. And now I'm
Watch
thinking
it
about
later.
bugs.
We'll have another opportunity next week. We'll
Exactly.
definitely see you on
Yes,
Tuesday.
and Tuesday is Mardi Gras.
Yeah, we should
I'm
do
not
a
dressing
Fat
up.
Tuesday.
You could do that. You could do. What are we going to do for
Tuesday.
that?
Oh,
though?
we will do
We'll
something.
figure something out.
We need beads.
Beads. Okay.
Yes.
Crazy things we can make people do to get beads.
We will not flash.
Yes.
Even though it's streamed, we could push the boundary, but that might be a little bit too much.
No. We'll find something.
We'll have
If
some
you have
fun.
good enough beads, we might be able to take care of it after the show.
Wow.
Is that the wine talking at the
That is
spot?
wine, and she's talking for fun. Should put we and it should be me.
Where did that come from? Where
I was
did the
talking about
beans
Nick. What are
idea
you thinking?
Come
I
from?
don't know. They came from Mardi Gras. They came from St. Louis.
Well, I know, but what is that actual celebration though? I think we need to look that
Fat
up.
Tuesday.
I know, but what is that?
It's the
what is it
beginning
actually
of- the
celebrating?
The beginning of Lent.
Lent.
Beginning
Yeah.
of Lent.
It's
Okay.
the celebration
Seems kind
before
of
Lent
complete
starts.
opposite from what the results are at Mardi Gras to what Lent
Well, yeah.
is. Yeah, like
Well, it's
Catholic
it's
and whipping off clothes for beads. Yeah. Yeah, that is
Okay.
a complete opposite. You're absolutely right.
yeah. I think I'm gonna have to
You
do a
go
little
from
bit of digging on
One
that.
extreme to the other
Exactly.
for Mardi Gras.
Well, I mean, to let
Tuesday.
it all out before committing to something.
maybe we'll bring a cake, a king cake.
Are you sure next Tuesday is Fat Tuesday?
Yes, I'm positive.
Really?
My wife reminds me religiously.
Oh my
so
God, this month is flying by.
this year is flying.
Yes.
It is.
by. I mean,
it's crazy.
it's February already.
See, I was thinking May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, so that's wrong. Okay, Fat Tuesday. Don't mind me.
I'd like it to
You
be
can
May
retract that statement if you want.
She didn't even have any wine.
She didn't.
Yeah, speaking of which, why is there a full glass? What's
because
happened?
I was drinking my
Go
fruit
juice.
So you didn't like the fermented juice, you liked the regular juice.
I was just drinking my glass of juice. I don't know. I just started drinking my glass of juice.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know.
So Fat Tuesday, we'll have a little. I'm
Yes.
not dressing up. I got to work the day the day
Well.
prior. So, but at least talk about it and see what we want to bring to the table. Fat Tuesday related, and if any of our audience wants to see and or
We could do Fat
Discuss.
Tuesday trivia.
okay, I'm down for that. You like your questions in your list.
I do.
So
Because you
let's-
can find so much information out on somebody and they don't even realize it. Just the way that they answer a question.
That's kind of scary.
Because when you meet somebody or you talk to somebody, let's face it, they like to talk about themselves. And you find out so much information by just sitting back and listening. So that's why when you ask a question, wow.
You're not drinking it.
So that's why when you sit back and you start asking questions, you could really start to know a person. And then once you have a glass of wine or something, then they really let their guard down and they start talking. So
Do
what's
people
wrong
still
with me?
talk like they should in this day and age, or is everybody distracted by their phone?
they're distracted by phones. How many times have you gone out to a restaurant and you're seeing a guy across the way from a girl and here's the both of them? Why even go out? Because you didn't want to cook dinner because it would interfere in your phone scrolling? I don't know. I think
but it's a different time though too. I mean, that's
well, it is, but I think if you're out to dinner with people or with that significant other, you're spending quality time with them, not quality time with your phone. But you know what? I've
I
been
think-
guilty of,
well, I mean, we all have.
answering text messages or something comes across, a social media page or an email comes in or a text message. I've been guilty of doing the same thing of answering it back, but
Well, I think I even saw that there was some restaurant or one restaurant. I don't remember where it was, but part of the deal is they collected your phones right as you enter, so that
Yeah,
it
I
can
wouldn't
actually
like that.
be.
I wouldn't like that either.
I think that putting them in the middle of the table is a good thing
I had a
because then you
relative-
don't touch it all the time.
I had a relative that had a basket, and when you walked into her house, she held the basket out, and you had to put your phone and your keys in the basket, and it's like, oh, hold on to it, thanks, no. But it just, I was like, God, I feel like I'm a little kid, and I have to put my toy away.
Yeah, I mean, but the intention is that you actually open your mind and have a conversation with the person across from you, and not be so distracted by your phone that it's no longer that social interaction.
Right.
And, I mean,
Oh, we've lost social interaction a long time
Oh,
ago.
no, I don't think so.
yeah, but it hasn't been that long. I mean, even cell phones with these capabilities and the social aspect of it. I mean, that's only last 10 years it's really been big. I mean, we used to, even if we had phones, it wasn't like it is now where we checking all these social media posts and everything else. There was still, you had your phone, but you weren't locked into TikTok or locked into Facebook or locked into any of those social media platforms.
Even when we had our phones or we had our pagers, we all thought, ooh, I'm important. I've got my pager, and here comes a number across. And then,
but we could put it away because it wasn't that advanced. It wasn't, so capable. But
what's funny is, how many of you have friends that you have their cell phone numbers and you have them saved to your phone, but if you were to lose your phone, you couldn't remember their cell phone number to save your soul?
I hardly remember my kids' numbers.
Right.
See, I intentionally leave it as a number, so I already know what it is.
So
in a lot of cases, I mean, there's some random exceptions, but for the most part, I tend to leave it the number so that I can actually remember the number, because once they take that memory off me, I'm going to forget your number.
But back in the day when we had our pagers, we had to know who that phone number belonged to, because we knew that number came across.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but
you
now,
saved it as that person, right?
No,
not in pagers.
Not
I don't
in a
think you
pager.
have. I mean, if you had the advanced pagers, maybe, but for the most part, it was just the number.
The number
itself.
came across, and you had to have a quarter on you and go to a phone booth and call somebody, or because you didn't have cell phones then.
Oh God, phone booth. Oh.
Can you even find a phone booth?
Well,
now?
in the early days of the pagers, when you could type in the number that you wanted, and you'd make up words, kind of like the whole calculator deal. Yeah. It never, kids these days will not know that.
They have no idea what it's like to have to play vinyl over a CD.
To text
reel-to-reel player
from an old flip phone. We at work, we use them like to contact the people out in the field and stuff. We have a flip phone. And so in order to text on it, you have to hit the same 3 button, to get to the right
but
letter.
that was great. I used to be able to do that, where I could actually
do it really
be
fast.
driving, and I could be texting and get it almost 100% right because I knew the numbers that would associate with it. Now you can't do that. You actually have to physically stare at your phone, and if you're driving, that's a really bad idea.
Yeah, it is. I have Swipe on my phone because I have Android. And I can swipe my words. And so I don't have to look at the keyboard hardly at all. I just swipe, and I know where all the letters are, so... And I get words. It's different than text.
Well, the one great thing that does come out of cell phone, if you've ever seen, I think it's the website, it's called Damn You Autocorrect. Some of those stories, some of the mishaps... It is hysterical. You will be laughing so hard at how bad some of these autocorrects are.
Oh wow, I didn't even realize there's a website
I've had some
for that.
pretty bad ones.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical. I mean, you look at you take into consideration what that person was trying to type, and you will laugh your butt off for sure.
Well, how bad is it when before it left your phone that it said the correct stuff, and by the time you read, you're like, That's not what I typed.
No. Well, one of them was boobsicle. So if it helps you get an idea of what some of those are going to be with the autocorrect. And duck. I don't say duck very often, but I say the other one that's related to
that, yes.
So, but yeah, so some of the autocorrect ones are hysterical.
Well, I know that the iPhone had a program that if you did swear, it went period, period, period.
Yep.
Period, period, period.
Really?
It was asterisks, I believe, but yeah,
Really?
Same thing where if it
I can
swear.
save it in my words, and then it types the swear word for me if I save it.
But my wife did that to me though, because you can actually go into the iPhone, and when you say or use a certain word, it would correct it to something. So she changed. I think she changed my no to like yes, wife. So anytime I would type no, it would come up as yes.
That's pretty smart.
That's cute.
Yeah. So you can have some fun with it, but if you don't, she does that all the time, where she'll go in and change words that she knows you're going to use, and it autocorrects because.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yep.
I learned
She's a
something
smart
every
cookie.
day.
Yep. Mess with people that way. It's fun.
Well, we're going to mess with people next Tuesday, so hope that people are up on their trivia for Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, if
So we'll
anybody
do that.
wants to send us questions, have
In
at
the
it.
meantime, leave them in the comments now, and then we'll pick up on it. I'll pay attention to it and bring it to the showcase next Tuesday. Thursday we're going to be off, but Tuesday we will be here. So please join us. I believe it's going to be 7:05 next week. So we could do it at 6. Do you guys want to do it at 6 or 7 next week?
6 might be good. Because then we can eat dinner at a reasonable hour.
She's all about the food.
All about the food.
I mean, it's Fat Tuesday. You should bring in some
right.
Fat Tuesday.
Fat
We could
Tuesday.
enjoy it even more.
What do they do at Fat Tuesday? Is there special foods?
I'm sure
yes,
there
there
is.
are.
You just got to look them up. Gumbo, I'm sure, is part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, jambalaya? No. Am I on the right holiday?
Yeah, I think jambalaya is part of
Okay.
that.
Yep.
We'll have to
We are
experiment a little
definitely
bit.
going to
with
have to experiment.
it. So 6 o'clock on Tuesday, you can join us back here, and then
On Tuesday?
Yep.
Thursday.
Tuesday.
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 Yeah,
Thursday
Tuesday.
we're off. Tuesday we'll be here though.
Yeah.
So
Get it together.
she didn't even have any wine tonight.
I didn't.
folks.
I need it. That's the problem. I didn't have any.
Okay, well let me get to my post, and you guys can.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks so much to you for joining us.
Yes,
and,
it was
We'll
fun.
see you next Tuesday, Fat Tuesday, and a lot of fun, frolic, and merriment will be happening.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Toodles.
Thank you for listening to this. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content, and we would appreciate you sharing the videos and the word about us. Thank you.